everyone. Today, we'll be presenting our Python-based cyber attack simulation system. Our program models common cyber attacks such as DDoS, DOS, brute force, and injection attacks. It also showcases different defense responses and includes an observer mode that lets users monitor attacks in real time. This tool is designed to help computer engineering students better understand how cyber attacks works and how systems can defend against them. Thank you.
Option 1 serves as the full system demo, an autopilot mode that shows new users exactly how a DOS attack behaves. It automatically activates all system features without needing any manual setup. This gives users a clear baseline before diving into customization. It also ensures systems full capability right away.
Selects option 2, Scenario Builder. The system allows them to manually build their own cyber attack simulation by choosing all parameters. First, the program shows a list of available attacks like DOS, DDoS, brute force, port scan, or SQL injection. In Scenario Builder, the user manually chooses which cyber attack they want to simulate. After choosing the attack type, the program asks for how many attackers will participate. The range allowed is 1 to 50. This value matters only for multi-source attacks, especially for DDoS attack. More attackers, more simulated malicious traffic. Third, the program asks for attack intensity. The range allowed is 50 to 5,000. This controls how aggressive the attack becomes per second. The system then uses this number to generate malicious traffic levels. Fourth, they choose the duration in seconds, which determines how long the attack runs. The range is 5 to 100 seconds. This is how long the simulation will run in real time. The traffic graph will span this entire duration. Fifth, they select defense mechanism. The user now chooses one defense mechanism, such as rate limiting, IP blocking, firewall, or CAPTCHA. This chosen defense will appear in the logs and in the real-time explanation during the simulation. After all options are set, the simulator will start the attack, show real-time traffic numbers, show normal versus malicious traffic, display defense behavior, draw a live graph after the simulation, and produce an analysis summary.
Cyber Defense and Attack Simulator are also have a features where the user can choose whether they like to be an attacker, defender, or be an observer. In the attack mode, user can choose one of the following attack. First is DOS, Denial of Service. Denial of service and an attacker that overwhelm a system with excessive traffic or requests so it cannot respond to a real user. DDoS, Distribute Denial of Service. This attack is a multiple infected or control mechanism that flood a target with a massive traffic at the same time, making it far harder to stop. In brute force, the attacker repeatedly guesses username, password, or keys until one eventually works, through trial and error. Port scan, the attacker systematically checks the network ports to discover service or vulnerabilities that can be exploited. SQL injection is a malicious SQL commands are inserted into input fields to manipulate the database, steal data, and bypass authentication. As for the defense, same as attacker, they can choose a defense that can block the attacker. First in our list of defender is rate limit. This controls how many requests a user can send within a set time to prevent overwhelming or abusive behavior. In IP blocking, stop all traffic from a suspicious or malicious IP address to prevent further attack. Firewall. Firewall is a filters incoming and outgoing traffic based on security rules to block harmful or unauthorized access. As per CAPTCHA, this is the common one. This is requires user to complete a human verification test to stop bots and automated attacks. After choosing in both attack or defense, user will get evaluated for their work. As per observer mode, after choosing it, it will create a random scenario letting the user observe it.
Option 4, called the password cracker. It has two modes, basic brute force and dictionary assisted. Basic brute force tries every possible combination in sequence, from A to Z, lowercase and uppercase, until it matches the password. Dictionary assisted uses only the words or patterns you include in the dictionary list.
Option 5 is the description mode toggle. When this is turned on, the simulation explains everything happening during the attack, such as what the attack does, what the defense does, and how the traffic behaves. It's ideal for teaching and for beginners. When it's off, the simulator only shows the raw simulation results without explanations, which is best for quick testing. Choosing option 5 is simply switches between these two modes.
The export log option is designed to allow the user to save the results of the most recent simulation in a standard, easily shareable format, a CSV file. It first checks if any simulations have been run and recorded in the global log data list. If a log exists, it accesses the last save which hold the simulation data, timestamps, traffic volume, and malicious ratio. It generates a unique file name using a timestamp to ensure logs from different runs doesn't overwrite each other. It prints a success message to the console showing the user the name of the newly created file. If a log data is empty, no simulations have run, it prints a no logs available error. This feature is important for computer engineering students as it simulates real-world logging and data analysis. Exporting logs allows for post-mortem analysis, reviewing the data outside the simulation, just like in Excel and other data tools. The exit option is the standard way to terminate the application. When the user selects this option, the code executes a break statement inside the while-true loop that controls the main menu. Breaking out of the loop causes the main menu function to finish executing. Since the main menu call is the final command in the script's execution flow, the entire Python program terminates gracefully. A friendly goodbye message is printed before the program exits. This ensures the program closes cleanly, releasing any system resources it might be using. In a real application, an exit routine might also save configuration files or close open network connection, though this specific script keeps it simple.